What's up everybody? Patrick from wpbuilderhelper, and in today's video we're going to be talking about LiveCanvas. I recently did a poll and asked you guys what you wanted to see, and surprisingly enough, the two things that showed up there more than any other thing were LiveCanvas and Gutenberg. So I'm going to be covering those things today. I'm going to be going over them, obviously in separate videos, so be prepared for that. But today's video is LiveCanvas because they did a recent update, and it's a pretty cool update. They've got a new theme that's out and all of that. So I wanted to take you through it, show you what it does, show you what's different about it, and what you can kind of expect. All right. So let's get started. Alright everyone, here we are again. So we're at LiveCanvas's website. I was kind of pleasantly surprised when I just recently did a video and people were like, yes, we want to see more of LiveCanvas, because I really think it's a pretty cool builder. It's built off of Bootstrap. It's one of the only builders on the whole list of builders that actually seems like it's specifically trying to take and make a name for itself. Like, not so much make a name for itself, but they're trying to go to a different type of builder. They want to be a developer's builder. Not to say that Oxygen isn't a developer's builder, because obviously it is. It's got a lot of the actual building of, integrating WordPress and everything. It's not so simple to just point and click everything. But this builder does things a little bit differently, and it's a really cool builder. It's a very, very professional, very, very thin builder. It doesn't have a whole lot of bells and widgets, so you have to be expected to kind of go in this builder and actually take things from it and literally, build it yourself using code and everything else. So if you're not somebody who is really good at editing HTML or CSS, then it's hard to say that this is going to be the builder for you, especially if you're used to something like a Divi or something like that. But more and more, I'm seeing more and more people go to builders like this, where it's more Oxygen based or more LiveCanvas based, because they're so light and airy. When I went over and I said, what did you guys want to see? Surprisingly enough, one of the main things was Gutenberg. And I think the reason for this is because people are sick and tired of these bloated page builders. That's just what we have today. We have some bloated page builders out there. And I think they're sick and tired of it. And so they're moving to something that's a little bit more, it's just faster in comparison. And even here, they recently did this kind of bloat thing to kind of show the difference between these. I really wish they would have included Brizzy in here, just because I like to see tests like this, but it's not like you couldn't do this on your own. So it's cool. It shows you the template that they got, and it shows you the different scores with these templates. And it's versus the Google mobile page speed comparison, which some people would argue that score means nothing, but to a lot of people, especially people who are running affiliate websites or running any kind of website that really wants a speed check, you can honestly see that these speeds, this page builder is killing all of these builders. Now, Oxygen, I would say, is one that tends to be pretty fast too, but even with that, you can see that they share kind of the same template. And I should have looked at these templates. Let's see if there's a difference in the template. I'm sure someone from Oxygen would look at this and say, well, it's not exactly the same, but he recreated it. Maybe not the same logos. Doesn't look like the same logos. Doesn't look like the same images. They used a bit of different images for the Oxygen builder one. But regardless, I mean, pretty close. Pretty close. They kept it pretty similar. But yeah, they even used the same image at the bottom here, which is nice. So it's a pretty good test. I wouldn't say it's a bad test. I think that it's pretty close. So you can kind of see, just looking at the page speed comparison just on the second template, how they're ranking 95 and Oxygen's ranking 78, and then the rest of them are ranking 63 and 56. These type of speeds don't work for marketers. These specifically don't work. These you can definitely get by with. I think that anything that's in the green tends to be pretty good. Anything that's in the 70s or 80s, you're pretty okay on. I would say that if you're looking at something that's in the 60s, you can be a little bit in trouble, and accidentally click that link. You can be a little bit in trouble. So even here, technically Elementor is all right. You know, this is okay for, you know, for whatever. It doesn't say whether this is desktop or mobile. I'm assuming that it's, I don't know. I don't know if it's desktop or mobile. It doesn't say, which is a bit strange. So it tells you their methodology and how they built it, and it basically goes through and explains some of the things of the plugin size. See, you can kind of see, and this is funny because so when people bring this up in other page builder things, they get really, really frustrated because some of these themes, including, like, I think this theme is really, really fat. It's got 10 megabytes worth of stuff in it. Elementor Pro's got 393 KB. Beaver Builder's got 1.1 megabyte, which is really good. Oxygen, I'm not sure why they couldn't check that, but the plugin file size is 2.8 megabytes. That's really pretty good. That's in terms of a plugin, that's pretty decent. Not sure why this plugin doesn't have a file size. I'm sure it says does not offer any starter theme, so we tested, just installed the bundle. Contains itself the plugin. Oh, because the theme is the plugin, so that's why he tested the theme with the plugin. I get it. I understand that. So, and they tell you what they used for it, so you can see he was using different themes for this, so that's pretty cool. I mean, he's being very, very thorough. And he kind of goes through this, and they definitely, like I said, this is a page builder that's definitely making its way to the top. They are trying very hard to make a name for themselves, and I think that they're doing a pretty good job. I think that their pricing is pretty good. I like this lifetime pricing deal that they're doing, and I like the pro deal. Really simple pricing scheme. And so now we get to the whole point of this. The whole point is they just came out with Picostrap, which is basically a starter theme that you can download, and it's free. Doesn't cost you anything. They've got a demo, they've got the free download, and it says to achieve top page speed and GT metrics results. So you know what I'm going to do? I want to test it, and I just happen to have page speed insight. Let's test it in here. And I have GT. Let's test it. Let's see what it is. Because a lot of times these page speeds, it says that they're really, really good, when in fact sometimes they're really, really bad. And so we want to kind of look at that and see if that's the truth. Live reloading without installing anything on your machine will automatically reload and pick up changes. So it shows here you're kind of coding in the back end, using it, and then as you're coding, it makes the changes on the front end, which is pretty nice. That's pretty cool. No wasted bytes, light as a feather. It drops jQuery, which is good because I know a lot of people are trying to get rid of jQuery because of that speed score. That's part of the problem, and just goes for vanilla JavaScript, which is good. No font awesome, no jank, super fast sites. So obviously we can see that this is definitely, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can like. There's even a top bar opt-in. That's cool. That's neat that they include that in there. Some sharing buttons. That's neat. Child theme provided. Hide unnecessary template tags. Disable comments. Keep your head clean. So that's like meaning your head with emojis, classic editor, disable Gutenberg, and a bunch of other stuff. Cool. Cool, very cool. And then it allows you to kind of see it, and so you can see there's a child theme and there's the regular theme. So for this, let's take a look. Let's see. Wow. So on mobile, it's getting a 94. Wow, that is really good. I mean, that's excellent. And then it's getting an 84 on desktop. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. Let's see what it gets here. 94, 91, 2.6 seconds. Total page speed, almost a meg. 25 requests. Requests are good. I mean, that's pretty good. So with all that said, I tell you what, let's jump into it. I've got a live server installed here, and we've got basically LiveCanvas. And let's jump into it and let's see. Let's close out the rest of this stuff so I don't accidentally hit it something and see. And let's kind of look. So you can see I've got Pico theme installed, Picostrap I should say. I keep calling it Pico theme. Used to use Custom Strap, which was a child theme of Understrap, but now they've got apparently their, so Understrap I don't think they make. Yeah, this is made by this guy, which may or may not be the person that's involved with that. I'm not exactly sure. I don't think it is, if I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, because this says LiveCanvas. So that's just a child. So they've just basically made their own theme, which I think is smart. So let's go to the customizer. Let's see what kind of customizer options it's got. I'm sure a lot of the same as these. You know, no different. So you've got some footer functionality here where you can kind of go in and you can kind of add your own footer stuff. That's neat. Homepage settings appears to be normal. Archive settings. You've got some share buttons after content. Pure HTML only. SVG inline icons, 0 bloat. Wow. Okay, cool. So that's how they've done their icons. You've got some add some head, and I know I skipped the rest of this. I'm just trying to go through it and look. Let's see. You've got disable live reload. Will completely disable the type reloads. SCC making the difference only to admins. Disable the WordPress comment system. Will completely disable comments. I wonder why they did that. That's kind of cool that they did that, but I'm wondering why they added that in, because you can already kind of disable comments. Disable font loading in header. Keep this unchecked unless you really know what you're doing. This will prevent the theme from auto-skewing Google fonts when they're chosen. Can be relative if you self-host fonts. Refer to this tool to get started. Back to the top button is an opt-in feature. Very light implementation. You'll see a button. You'll also need to publish, exit customizer, and scroll down the page. Okay. Some additional CSS, which is typical. And then footer we already checked. Menu is normal. No menu optional. Top bar. So you can add like a top bar in now, some kind of bar, primary background color. I don't even see it. Do you have to hit publish first? I bet you have to hit publish so it can compile it. Top bar text color dark. Yeah, that's weird. It's like not showing it at all, which it should. Ads before all or at body start. Huh. Wonder why it's not coming up. Wonder if it's because, I don't know, that's weird. Maybe it doesn't show inside the customizer. Main navigation. You've got some fixed static, so there's some static stuff that you can do here. Fixed to the top. Oh, there it goes. It's showing up now. It just took a second. There's fixed on the bottom, so you can actually have a fixed bottom navigation. Static top, no nav bar. You can remove the nav bar. And then you can kind of choose colors. There's colors that are already in here. Color scheme for menu links, default, light links, dark links. Okay, neat. Buttons and forms, so you've got some padding here. And it tells you the default padding. Input buttons, so you've got some padding and stuff like that, height, size for any kind of button or form. So that's pretty neat. That's cool. I've got some button stuff. What's in components? So you can add shadows, enable gradients. That's cool. You've got some spacer, border width, 1 pixel, so that tells you the default 1 rem, 1 pixel. And then border radius, 3 rem, 2 rem, 50 rem for rounded pill. It's smart. Typography, font combinations. Check out font pair for more. Enable responsive font sizes. Oh, that's cool. So responsive font sizes. Let you pick a family. Default font. So you could. Wow. Oh, whoa. Okay. This is really cool. Okay, that's really cool. So many people probably don't know, but Google has a lot of fonts, and while you can't technically go in and, you can go in and you can pick any font you want that's a Google font at least, and you can mix and match them. Well, this site font pair kind of goes through and picks out some of the most popular ones, and it looks like he's already kind of put that on here. That's very unique. As a matter of fact, that's a time saver, because some of these fonts on font pair work so well together that you can completely customize the site, and I love the fact that it does that and automatically customizes it for you, so that your headings and your font family, your font base are already picked. And then you can kind of go in and you can change whatever little thing you want to change. But that's, wow, what a time saver. That's really, really cool. I like that. I don't remember if that was in the other one, but I like the fact that he's got the quick list. Now, if you want to, and you want to go put your own fonts, you could just click the font picker, and then you can go in here and you can kind of pick whatever font you want out of the Google fonts. If there's not, a pair of fonts that you really like, you can kind of select them, and then you can hit publish, and it'll redo all your fonts. It'll rebuild them, and it'll do that. Close the window, and then you can see the fonts have changed. So you don't have to use this, but I think that this is incredibly cool. It's nice to see. It's something that you could literally, if you're building a font for somebody, or if you're building a site, you can go in and you can pick a certain type of fonts just based upon this website, and it really just makes things so much easier and so much quicker. So body background, body color, link hover, and then we get this primary, secondary, success, info, warning, danger, dark, light, that type of thing. It's pretty cool. I wish that you had the ability, I know you can go in and you can, obviously with Bootstrap, you can go in and you can add more colors. I wish you had the ability to add more colors directly in this, and then have that apply to Bootstrap without you going and coding it. It'd be nice to have something in here where you could add that. That would be really cool. And then obviously this is pretty much the same thing it's always been. So let's take a look at LiveCanvas. Let's dive into one of the pages. I had started building, I think I went to the home page, and I was playing with that just so you could see. So let's add some sections. You've got some hero content here, which is pretty nice. And I like the fact that they have dark and light. So there's dark and light. So they've kind of listened to my claims with other builders where I said, you really need to have a dark and a light. Although I'm not exactly sure why this inverts the picture. Does that really invert the picture when you put it in there? Okay, no, it doesn't. It just turns the background. That's weird. I don't know why it inverts the picture. Maybe it's just because it's for preview purposes, but I would update the preview so that people don't accidentally think that your dark picture gets inverted for some reason. But yeah, you can kind of see, and I think if you go in here, you can probably turn it light. Yep, dark and light. So that's cool. And you can kind of see how it works. Look, I'm a button. Works just like other builders. If you want to change this, hi, this is a page builder. You can kind of change this, and you can kind of go in here and you can do whatever you want. Now, I am aware that they did add in, I believe they added in new blocks, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. I'm looking at all this just because I'm trying to see if anything has changed. So this is a column. So that's a section. There's a column. Add another block. There's a block. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay, cool. So one of my biggest complaints was that there's this block right here, which was just a header and some text. And I did not like the fact that you had to go in and you had to actually delete the text out of it to have a header. It was annoying. So you'd have to go into this block. You would have to physically delete this text. You could delete it like this, but that's not really effective. So I didn't understand why they didn't have another another way of basically inserting a block where you didn't have to have text. So now they've split that, which I think is awesome. Editable typo starter. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, okay. Okay, so this is just showing you typography. This is just basic typography. I wonder what that's for. I wonder if that's just to give you an idea of what the typography is like, or... That's interesting. I don't know what you would use that for. It's still interesting. I like it. I don't hate it. I just don't know where it would go. Like, I don't know what you would... I guess you could use it for something crazy. Button, they've always had a button. They've always had... Now, they've changed this. Icons and text. Let's look at this. And it looks like we've got some more. So there's some... Okay, some different types of icons and text. So you can see there's every configuration of icon you can think of here. You can have a header with some text underneath it, an icon left, right, you know, top, but they're missing bottom, because I would say that bottom would be used. Then you've got some cards here. Okay, so this creates some cards. So if you did like that, okay, cool. You'd have a little card, and I'm assuming this is an icon, and this is an SVG, Bootstrap icons. Okay, so you can still choose font awesome if you want. That's neat. But you're using Bootstrap icons, which I guess are all SVGs, which are good. It's better for speed. It's a much better speed-wise. And then, you know, you have your picture that you have here, and you could choose an unsplash photo if you wanted to. Keyword search, say we want water. And it'll, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the way they do that. And then you could have water. That's pretty neat. You could even go to the next page if you wanted something a little bit darker. But there's some neat things in here. I like the fact that they're doing this, and then they've got some effects added to it. So you can see that there's effects over here. There's like an overlay that's on it, which is, I guess, okay. And it looks like you have some more Unsplash effects from Unsplash. I don't know what that means. I guess it just changes the tones of the picture itself. Like you can see there's green tones, red tones. So you can kind of change the tones of the picture, or just leave it plain, which makes a lot of sense. I think it makes, wow, they've even got clip art. So this is isometric. Wow. Cool. Draw kit. I mean, just a lot of different things that you can add in here that they've got just set up, ready to go. It's pretty cool. I like the way that they've added that. A lot of that stuff was, I think, already there for the most part. They've changed some little pieces here and there, but a lot of this was already established. This is, like I said, this is pretty much like a full page builder. The only thing that I think is missing is it's kind of limited on headers. Some of these headers, they could use a little bit more pizzazz. They look kind of blah. Like, some of them are okay. The video background's okay. There's a couple of them that are just like, ugh. You don't see a lot of, you know, separation, that type of stuff that you like to see in web design, where things are overlapping and the use of shadows and that, you know, that basic stuff. This is kind of neat. Let's see what this is. Oh, okay. That's pretty clever there. So that looks like that's a clever way of doing something. It's a way that you can create basically like a timeline, essentially. So you've got some stuff in here that they've definitely added, that they've made, you know, they've made their own. I just think that when you compare it to the other builders, I think that there's things that are off here, like not bad. Features page looks pretty much the same. I don't think it's a bad features page. I think it's pretty good. All the features look correct. Galleries page, 4 images in a gallery, some gallery and text, about us, and then masonry gallery. Is that what that is? Is this like a masonry? Okay, and it turns black and white and has like an overlay in it. It's pretty neat. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's a neat function of this. And of course, if you wanted to edit it, you could go in and edit properties. And they've got all the spacing and all the decoration and everything that you would find in most builders. But you can see this has LC block, which stands for something in Bootstrap. It's basically like a class that it's referring to. And if you wanted for some reason to edit the HTML, you could go in here and you can kind of edit the HTML to show the difference between it and show what, you know, just what. So for instance, it's got the ID of landscape, so apparently it's using that as its name whenever you're essentially rolling over it. See, photo title, my title goes here. So that's why I said, see, my title goes here. That's why I said that, you know, if you're not familiar with HTML and CSS and knowing how to read it, this can be a hard builder for you. This is not a builder that is, it's not an Elementor builder, that's for sure. But it's still a good builder. I like this builder. They've got a lot of things that I think are going for them, and I think once they kind of start cleaning up these designs, getting them a little bit, you know, a little bit more to where it's stuff that we'd like to see, you know, stuff that's actually out there that's on the market. Because like the footers, you got 3 footers. They should have a long list of footers and headers. The headers don't even show up for me for some reason. But that could be something to do with something else. So, you know, and then you've got some simple media, image, video embed, Google Maps, WordPress integration. So you've got different things in this. So this is really, really cool. They've done a good job. Full website copy. So I guess this is if you're, oh, these are selections that I had made from other websites that I was copying, because if you don't know, you could literally go and find something. So let's say you come here and you inspect, and you come and you find the div that contains all of this. So like this container div, which I think contains, let's see, does that contain, would it be this section? Pricing, I think, is just that. I think this covers everything. Let me make sure this doesn't. Yeah, I think that covers. Yeah, that covers all the pricing. So if you wanted to, you could just copy that element, copy it, and you can go into LiveCanvas and you can actually, like, literally, I think, go and paste the element, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. They said that you could paste it right in, but I've never been able to make it work. And I'm in Chrome, and it just doesn't like to paste that element. But I've been able to get it to work by making it a selection, so it's most likely not a LiveCanvas issue. It's an issue with me and me just not knowing, understanding Bootstrap. But like I said, I still enjoy LiveCanvas. I think that this is a cool builder. It's definitely got a lot that someone could get into. It takes a little bit of thinking because it's not what you're used to. It's not a non-thinking person's page builder. It's definitely a thinking person's page builder. You're going to have to sit there and you're going to have to code. And some things are in different places that they probably shouldn't be. So for instance, if we exit out of here real quick and we go back into the dashboard and you wanted to say add a header and footer, you would launch this to add the header and footer. I'm not sure why that's not in here. I don't know. But in order to take and do it, you would come in here and you would add that to launch the header and footer, which, you know, that's fine. That's not a big deal. And then from here, you can kind of move things around the way you want to. So for instance, if you weren't happy happy with the way something was, maybe you didn't like this icon, you could go in here and you could choose, maybe say, I don't know, icon or logo. Let's see if they have a logo. So they do have a logo here, so you could choose like this as your logo, although I don't know. Yeah, I mean, whatever. The whole point is you're just trying to show that you can change the logo around. So you can kind of change around logos. You can do all of that. There's some nice things to this. There's some things I like about it. There's other things I don't like about it because I don't think it's as simple as, say, Oxygen or some of these other ones. But at the same time, it is mobile friendly. It's mobile responsive. It works well. It does everything it needs to do. So that's pretty cool. And I do like this preview, though. The preview that they use is excellent because most page builders just kind of downgrade. They don't have this phone or tablet experience where you can kind of see what it actually looks like on the tablet. You'd have to use something like Google Chrome, which kind of emulates it just to kind of show you what it looks like. But I think that this is pretty cool, just to give you an idea of what it would look like if you were messing with it. So for me, definitely LiveCanvas is just getting better and better. If you haven't taken a chance to look at LiveCanvas, they're giving a 40% off right now promo for stay at home. You should really look into it. Like I said, their pricing is really, really excellent. I'll put a link down in the bottom of the description. And I will see you guys next time.